This is the AI Executive Brief from BuildClub, and I'm Stephen Forte. By the end of this episode, you will have a map of every major enterprise tool that now runs an autonomous AI agent, a framework for evaluating which ones deserve your attention, and a concrete action you can take this week before agent sprawl makes the decision for you. This is not a feature announcement episode. We are not celebrating the fact that your software added a chatbot. What happened in the last 90 days is structurally different. And if you are running a mid-market company, it has already changed how work is being done inside your organization, whether you authorized it or not. Let me start with a single announcement that crystallized the pattern. Salesforce just launched an autonomous desktop agent inside Slack. 30 new features. MCP support, that is the Model Context Protocol, the open standard that lets agents talk to external tools. The agent does not just answer questions in a thread. It executes tasks. It takes action on your behalf across your desktop. That is the Salesforce Slack bot, and it is one data point in a much larger picture. Here is the rapid-fire version of that picture. Notion. More than 21,000 custom agents built on its platform, 2,800 running inside Notion's own organization, operating 24 hours a day autonomously. Atlassian Jira, you can now mention an AI agent in a ticket and assign it work the same way you would assign a human teammate, and third-party agents can connect via MCP. Zoom AI Companion 3.0, custom agents, cross-system workflows, monthly active users tripled. Monday.com, agents that register and authenticate into systems like human employees with a feature literally called Call My Agent that triggers automation on your behalf. Asana, AI teammates, purpose-built roles like campaign brief writer and compliance specialist, already in beta with more than 200 customers. And then the platform players, Google Gemini with computer use, HubSpot Breeze agents, Adobe with 10 or more specialized agents across the Creative Suite. Here is what I want you to sit with for a moment. This is not 3 or 4 companies making a bet. This is every major enterprise tool simultaneously in the same quarter, shipping an autonomous agent. Your project manager, your CRM, your docs tool, your chat app, your video platform, all of them. Spawning bots right now. So here is where it gets complicated. And I want to think through this out loud with you because I do not think the conventional answer is right. The naive response to that list is, great, my tools got smarter. The more honest response is, who's running the show? Your Slack now has an agent. Your Notion has agents. Your Jira has agents. Your Zoom has agents. Each one operating with some level of autonomy, each one accessing data in its own platform, each one taking actions on behalf of your employees. Nobody elected a coordinator. This is not hypothetical. According to research from Gravity, there are now more than 3 million corporate AI agents in deployment globally. Only 47.1% of them are monitored. That means roughly 1.5 million autonomous agents are making decisions inside businesses right now with no audit trail, no oversight, and in many cases, no one who knows they exist. 80% of Fortune 500 companies deploy active AI agents. Gartner projects that 40% of enterprise applications will include built-in agents by the end of this year. Let me give you a scenario that makes this concrete. Imagine a 400-person marketing agency, call it Velocity Digital. The COO does an internal audit after noticing some unusual data permissions being granted in their cloud environment. She discovers that Slack, Notion, HubSpot, and Asana are all running autonomous agents, 47 agents total across the organization. Nobody approved 31 of them. They were activated by individual contributors using default settings and free tier features. Those 31 agents have been summarizing client strategy documents, drafting outbound emails, and updating CRM records for 6 weeks. This is the governance crisis hiding inside the agent excitement. The strategic question every executive I talk to is wrestling with is this: do you consolidate on one true agent that orchestrates everything else? Or do you run a fleet, specialized agents where each tool's agent handles what that tool does best? Here is the case for one master agent. Unified context, single governance surface, less sprawl to manage. If one agent has visibility into everything, it can make better coordinated decisions. Here is the case for many. Each platform's native agent is deeply integrated with that platform's data model. Jira's agent understands Jira's logic. Notion's agent understands Notion's structure. A generalist agent sitting on top may never have that depth. I want to think through this honestly because I think both camps are missing something. The real answer right now is neither. We are in the experimentation phase. The correct move is not to pick a winner. It is to run parallel experiments, assign teams to evaluate 3 or 4 agents in real workflows, understand what each one can actually do, where it is connected and what data it can see. Because the agents that exist in 6 months will be meaningfully better than the agents that exist today, and performance differences will eventually drive consolidation. But that consolidation has not happened yet. Here is another scenario. A 1,200-person regional bank, let us call it Meridian Financial. The CTO allocates a 90-day experimentation budget of $180,000, roughly the cost of one mid-level developer, across 4 agent platforms: their CRM agent, their compliance tooling agent, a model-agnostic orchestration layer, and Claude's desktop agent for the operations team. At the end of 90 days, 2 of the 4 showed measurable time savings. One was sunset, one became a core workflow. Total projected annual productivity gain, $2.1 million. The cost of not experimenting, they would have picked the wrong one by default. The worst thing you can do right now is pick one agent and assume you are done. This is not about features. This is about structural advantages, the things that will separate the agents that survive market consolidation from the ones that become features inside another product. First, model flexibility. Agents that are locked to a single AI model are making a quiet bet that the model they chose stays the best model. That is a dangerous bet in a market where model rankings shift every quarter. Model agnostic platforms, the ones that can use Claude for deep reasoning, GPT for drafting, Gemini for search, and swap between them, those have structural insurance. If one model degrades, you route around it. Lock-in here is a liability, not a feature. Second, local access. This one is underestimated. Some agents, Claude Cowork, Google Gemini with computer use, can control your desktop, read your local files, execute code directly on your machine. Others are purely cloud native and can only operate within their own platform's walled garden. For complex workflows that touch local systems, contracts stored on your file server, or internal tools that have no API, local access is the differentiator. It is not glamorous, it is decisive. Third, data connectivity. The agent that can see your CRM, your project board, your calendar, your email, and your documents has more context than an agent trapped inside one tool. Cross-platform connectivity via MCP and similar open protocols is becoming the determining factor in which agents can actually be useful versus which ones give you impressive demos and narrow real-world utility. Fourth, governance surface. With 1.5 million unmonitored agents making autonomous decisions, the platforms that build invisibility, audit trails, permission scoping, activity logs will win enterprise deals. Not because enterprises love compliance theater. Because one rogue agent summarizing a confidential client file and emailing it to the wrong person ends the conversation. Arthur AI's agent discovery platform is an early response to exactly this need, a layer that helps you see what agents are running and what they are doing. Here is what I keep coming back to. The companies that will have an advantage in 12 months are not the ones who moved fastest in January. They are the ones who moved thoughtfully in the next 90 days. Set an experimentation budget, pick 3 or 4 agents with real workflow exposure, not sandbox demos, build your governance framework before the sprawl outpaces your visibility, and pay attention to performance. Because the gap between a good agent and a mediocre one will compress and then widen. And when it widens, you want to already know which one you trust. The window for informed experimentation is roughly 90 days before market consolidation starts making the decision for you. That is the AI Executive Brief for Tuesday, April 7th. I am Stephen Forte. If this was useful, share it with a colleague. I will be back Wednesday with more. Until then, stay sharp.